Fine. So in today's session, we'll see invoice imaging solution, how we can convert image information into invoice creation in the payables application. So when I talk about this process, the first point is client should take subscription for this invoice imaging solution. Separate subscription is required. After take the subscription, if they want to use this solution where they can convert invoices based on the images, scanned images, first they have to raise SR to Oracle. If you are working as a consultant for so and so implementation project, okay, being a consultant, we have to raise SR to Oracle, saying that just we have an amazing solution subscription and we want to use it. When you raise SR to Oracle, what Oracle will do is they'll provide the email ID. Okay, Oracle provides email ID. So now what we have to do is we have to tell to the business if any scanned images they have which they want to convert as a invoices, payables invoices, we have to ask them to send those images on the given mail ID. Say for example, Oracle given some XYZ images Oracle cloud.oracle.com. Say like this is how like Oracle given the mail ID. This mail ID we have to share with the business users. So the business users, once they receive the invoices as scanned images from the suppliers, the users will be sending those scanned images on this mail ID. Once they send that scanned image on this mail ID, it will just go and hit our instance imaging solution. Okay, the images will be available in the cloud instance as a part of imaging solution. From there we can review the information and we can import. Say review images and import into payables. You can review. If you want to do the modifications you can modify, or if you want to delete you can delete. Okay, that's how we can do it. This invoice imaging solution now we are talking about, apart from invoice imaging, the imaging solution will work for expense reports also. Okay, expense reports also we can use the invoice imaging solution. So once client is subscribed for invoice imaging solutions along with the financials, we have to raise SR to Oracle. Oracle will provide a specific mail ID. So we have to inform to the business users to send all the images on this mail ID. And or else what we could do is we can give this mail ID to suppliers also. Directly suppliers can send the images on this mail ID. Once you send images on this mail ID, those directly will hit to our cloud instance, say our pod which is allocated for us by Oracle. So they'll be pointing this mail ID, okay, to our specific instance. Within our instance you can review those images which are submitted, and finally those we can import into payables application. We'll see the process. Okay, this anyway we cannot do here, just we have to raise SR, like how to raise SR to Oracle by stating we have a subscription for imaging solution. They'll provide you the mail ID, then we have to send, we can send, our business users can send images on this ID, or else you may share directly with your suppliers. The suppliers can send the images on this mail ID. Once they submit that images to on this mail ID, those will be routed to our instance. Once those hits our instance, from where we can see how we can just go through that information, we'll see now. So let's log into our instance. Fine. If you want to connect to imaging solution, what we have to do is after server URL, this is server URL, After that, whatever the path you could see, that you remove it and type as imaging. Okay, imaging, it will route us to the imaging solution. After server name slash imaging. Okay, what are the scanned images you submit on that mail ID? This all will be routed to this page. Just wait for a second, it's connecting to that imaging solution. It's taking more time. What I'll do is, the same time we'll try from other instance. Oh, it's not. Fine, this is how it will get connected. You could see like only what we have to do, instance name slash imaging. Okay, that's how you have to search. So we'll be landing on this page. So what are the images you submit by using that mail ID? All will be submitted to this web center content imaging. From here we can find the images which we have submitted through that mail ID. So this imaging solution is available for expense reports and payable invoices. Expense reports and payable invoices. Now you can just select payable invoices search. Just click on payables invoices search. So here you can search with the supplier name or purchase order, invoice number or document creation date. By just giving any information input you can search, or else directly you can click on search, so that you can find out all the payable invoice related information. I mean to say the payable invoice related scanned images, how many are submitted to this imaging solution here. Just click on search. You can find out list of images which are submitted to this imaging solution. So here you could see there are many. These are all images. So from images, system extracted this information: invoice number, invoice date, invoice amount, supplier. Within that image, what are the PO number? We have that information, document ID. And when this image based record is created within this imaging solution, all the information you can see. So if you want to review that information, you can select specific record. So I'm selecting this record and click on update. Okay, or else you can click on launch, it will open. Okay, you may click on update. So here that supplier name, purchase order number, and invoice number, invoice amount, okay, and business unit, okay. So this BU name and all system will take automatically based on the purchase order number and all in the system, okay. So whenever we submit it, it will be fetching the BU name. So here, if you want to change, if you think some PO number is different or else it should belongs to different business unit or any information you want to change, you can change here. And if you want to see the image, based on which image user submitted to the system and it got generated this record, you can just click on select any one of the record, click on launch, say open. So this is the actual image which is submitted to imaging server. One second, it's opening. Yeah. Okay, this image is submitted. Based on this image only, system created that record. Okay, if you think there are few images which are submitted with wrong information, you can correct as we see in update, or else you can delete. If you want to delete few records again, if you want to submit once again with the correct information, you can select and you can delete, or else all this information you can export to Excel. So this is how just you can go through this information, you can review all these records. Once you are okay with this information, what you can do is you can just navigate to payables. Just I'm taking the URL. So once you send image on that mail ID given, Oracle given mail ID, all will be routed here. This is how the record system will create. You can just go through and if you want to correct, you can correct it. After correcting, you can just go to payables. Google only, right? Why is not allowing? Fine. So once you are just fine with that information, you can go to invoice workbench. So see here, this is how you can find the images. If you want to do modifications or any activity you want to perform, you can do it. If that information is fine, you can navigate to invoice workbench and go to invoices task. And within the invoice workbench, here you could see scanned. So these are the scanned images section. So you could see 0 to 7 days there are no scanned images are imported, 8 to 14 days no, more than 15 days plus back invoice are just created by using the images. Here below what you could see, all the invoices are created by using the imaging solution only. You can open any one of the invoice and you can see that information. So I'm clicking on this invoice number. So it won't come here automatically. We have to submit the import process. We'll go through it. Before that, just we are navigating with that information. So here, this invoice is created based on which image. The image also you can see as a attachment. Here also it is loading. You can click on this. So based on this image, that invoice is created in the payables. Okay. So you have images in the imaging solution. These images you want to bring into payables. What we have to do? Go to task list, and here you have a task called as import invoices. Click on import invoices. Select source. Okay, this is our BU name, ledger name. Select source name. Source name you have to select as invoice image. Rest of information, rest of parameters are optional. You can submit. Say close. Now system will import all the images into payables applications which are belongs to the same business unit. But now we didn't submit any images. We don't have any option. For that we have to get a separate email ID from Oracle. Once you submit image on that mail ID, those will be reflecting in this. So web content, web center content, imaging dashboard. From there you can import by submitting this program. Process wise, we have to raise SR and we have to get the mail ID. We have to tell to the business users to submit those images on the given mail ID. The same you can find in this environment. If you want to modify, you can modify it, or else if you want to delete to submit once again, you can do it. Once images are information is ready here, you can go and submit import invoices by selecting the source as a images. Okay, invoice images source, then that information will be imported here. To see those images you can just select this scanned. Under that it will list out all the imported invoices based on the scanned images. So any questions here, please? There is no additional setups required. Technically we don't need to do anything. This is inbuilt solution as a part of Fusion application. If you look into EBS, so if this is a client requirement, they have to go with some third party tools or any other softwares. Those need to be integrated, then only they can bring that invoice information to payables based on the images. But here the inbuilt solution Oracle is providing, but separate subscription is required to utilize this feature. Any questions from anyone, please?
Hi, Lakshman, this is Prakash.
Yeah, Prakash.
Are we expected to train the software to map the images, or is it
No,
automatically done by Oracle?
no. So as you could see here, the very few limited fields. So these fields only system will take for each and every image. Based on this, it will just convert that image into invoice creation. No mapping we do. So the complete this mapping, whatever you could see here, these fields only, so the primary fields it will capture from each image. Based on that, it will convert that image into invoice creation. No mapping is required, and invoice can be in any format. Okay, that's how it reality works, right? All the suppliers cannot maintain in one format because we are using the imaging solution. Invoice can be in any format. This imaging solution has intelligence where it can capture the information from any format of images. No field mapping is required.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Are there any criteria for the images, so they qualify to Oracle, like say the dots per inch DPI, or any criteria for the image to qualify for Oracle to import?
We don't have I mean some sort of resolution, like when you look at the image, Oracle specify the criteria, this much resolution the image should have. And when it comes to formats and all, it's a Word, PDF, and many JPG, many formats it will be supported. Most of the formats, image formats, it supports. And the only resolution they are giving some specifications. So rest of there is no much criteria. It will support all the scenarios.
Lakshman, what kind of support related issues could we expect?
Support related issues. See, once you, I mean, sometimes I could see some scenarios like some invoices, some PO numbers and all. When we get through images and all, some suppliers will provide that PO number. They'll give some, include some prefix and all. So if that is a scenario, the imaging directly it cannot capture that information. In that case, we can speak to Oracle saying that these are the scenarios where we have, so that also system has to consider when it is capturing the information from invoice. In that case, they can set that kind of provision to uh, I mean, the imaging solution, especially for us, since we have a suppliers who has a like a specification of PO number with some prefix of some kind of characters. So that's how they'll set that criteria also to meet when it's going to scan. Apart from that, it is a very standardized solution. Okay, I mean it's a very stabilized solution. Normally, you don't come across any issues when you use this imaging solution. So when you say like any format, from any format, the information can be captured. We can understand uh, how the I mean how it is built. Okay. Only in case of
So the solution is available in EBS also, right?
EBS we don't have. EBS we don't have. That is a separate third integration we have to build. It's this is
Oh, okay.
available as an inbuilt solution from Fusion only.
Only cloud. Okay.
Yeah, only cloud. In EBS you could see maybe that is clients might be using from third party vendor. For that they have to
Yeah.
integration.
170 systems.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Some
have
other.
a different.
Okay.
We have a different.
Oh,
I mean, products available in the market which can be integrated, which can be plugged through integration. But this is Oracle own solution. It's not third party. It's again inbuilt. But subscription is required separately along with the financials.
okay. And this solution available in cloud from long back or
From beginning,
from the
from
beginning of
older
the.
versions,
Okay.
from older versions available.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it is matured. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. 100%. Fine. So these are the points.
Lakshman, I also see,
Yeah, please.
sorry, I also see that PO number is optional.
No, PO number is not optional. It was not captured. It was not captured. If it is not captured, what we have to do is you can just go and click on update, because these are the sample in images Oracle uploaded. These are the very sample images Oracle uploaded. We didn't do that. So it's a Vision instance. They load it. If you think some reason it is not updated, we'll go and click on update and you can update that information. If PO number is there, then only system can understand this has to be matched with which PO. So when you are creating invoice and accounts payables, you have to match. If you want to match, PO number is required. Otherwise, it just go through the process of standalone invoice creation, right? So most of the invoices we match. In that case, PO number is required. So we have to provide if it is missing. If that information is not available, it will fetch that information into invoice workbench. There we have to add other details, line information, etc. We have to add through manually. That's how we complete the rest of part through manual process. If PO number is there,
Right.
it will just how system can match that lines and how it creates invoice through matching process. The same process this process also follows.
And if the PO number is and the line number is there, system does automatic made it match for these,
Yeah, yeah, it
or
will do automatically. If you when you do the PO match, say for example you are creating in the payables invoice workbench PO matched invoices, how system will copy that information to line level and how it will complete the process. Same can be done automatically if you have PO number.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Um, Lakshman, can we have invoice with PO and without PO also created through imaging?
Yes. You can have, if you have invoice without PO invoice without PO number, what it will do is it can take that information here. It will become incomplete if you just go to that invoice. It will create like this, but it would be incomplete invoice. So only it will fetch that information which is available in that PO level. See here, the PO number is not there. Okay, PO number is not there. In that case, we have to enter all this information here through manual process. Enter line info because you are not providing the PO number. System cannot understand that that information, that supplier and invoice number, whatever you are providing up to header part, it will capture. And line information you have to enter, and that's how you have to complete the manual process. If you provide PO number, based on that it will match with the PO, and the PO lines information it will take here, and by following that process it will complete the invoice creation.
Okay. In general, like if a company is having thousands of invoices per day, so is there a way like if they want to just looking at the invoice number, they want to see which invoice is for today's and all that information, or they want to have invoice sequence instead of like just getting the invoice number based on what's provided in the PDF, they want to have an invoice sequence for the auditing purpose or something.
Yes, you can implement sequential numbering, right? Category wise you can define that. That is there always in EBS. We have the same we have in the Fusion also. That is an
So in
additional
that,
numbering, right? That you
yes.
can
So in
implement
that
as a
case,
part of payables.
okay. So in that case, you would ignore the invoice number on the PDF and you will take the sequential number for the invoice.
No. That you cannot do. That mapping is not there. So only invoice number, whatever the number available, it will take here since it's a mandatory. So based on that sequential numbering, it won't run. Okay, only just it will capture this information what you could see here as a as a part of this. Okay, so they didn't provide any parameter for that sequential numbering because all the time you may use may not use, but invoice number is mandatory. That is the reason this is a parameter we have. Okay. So invoice number only it will consider primarily like matching purpose and to complete the to create the complete invoice definition. PO number it will consider. Otherwise only header part it will create, and rest of information we have to enter and we have to complete the invoice creation. Okay. So these are the few points we have to understand when you talk about imaging solution. Process wise no setups are required. Only you have to send an email, get mail ID and share with the business users. They'll be posting the invoices on that ID. All will be reflecting in this imaging dashboard, and you can verify before you import. If you don't have PO number, it will just create up to header information. If you have PO number, lines on the complete definition it will create. That's how it works. If you think a few images you want to delete from here, you can delete, you can update. Okay, that's how you can just work on this. And if you are going to use, if say you have a subscription for Fusion expense also, the expense also your employees are going to submit through images. In that case you can use expense report imaging solution also. So
Lakshman,
yeah.
when when a supplier has say 10 images and all the 10 images is sending to that email address, and out of the 10 say 8 are successful and 2 get rejected, will the supplier get back a notification that these all got succeeded, these all got rejected?
No. So those see, the, I mean there won't be such kind of scenario succeeding or not succeeding. So whatever you submit on that mail ID it would be reflecting here. So only the issue you may have when you are trying to import from here to payables. Okay, say you have a Gmail ID. If I'm sending one mail, for sure you will be receiving. Generally, there won't be any reason why you don't receive, right?
Okay.
So
Okay, and the other question is with regard to the Excel sheet, in that Excel sheet, you had given a certain email address. So during our practice session, we can use that email address to send a PDF and try. Is that correct?
No, no, this is a dummy ID I just entered, written.
So would there be a way to practice this?
No, 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 no. Just to give you some example, I taken. This is how that looks like. It will be very long ID. They'll be putting a lot of stuff in this. It should be unique to each instance. Okay, client specific. It's a long with a long name. You can find this. This you cannot use. This is a dummy one. Just to give you some understanding, I just written some email ID. That's all.
So
Let-
okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank Lakshman, one more question.
Yeah.
So if we, let me say, if the client asks suppliers directly to submit their image.
Yes. Yep. I can't hear you.
Does Oracle expect supplier to be on any supplier network, or do they have to be on any
No.
Western or something like that, or just simply
No.
send an email?
It's all about sending the email. That's all.
Okay, got it.
Just no network, no other specifications. Just the new mail ID. You can send on that ID from. There are no other conditions. Networks specific from anywhere they can send it.
Lakshman, the invoice will be created based on the supplier side and BU, or how is the invoice created when we are sending multiple invoices?
Yeah, invoice always will be created. See, when supplier is sending the invoice, okay, so they will create our invoice. When we are getting the supplier name and all the information will be getting. Reality, within the invoice you don't find supplier site information, but within our system you have a supplier purchase order number. The purchase order number will be specific to site. So when you get that invoice, when you are loading, based on the PO number, system will understand this is belongs to which site related PO. That's how it will identify the site and it will capture into invoice creation. Based on PO number, site can be identified. Reality, no invoice supplier will be mentioning the site which we maintain in our system, right? Based on PO number, site can be captured.
Okay. Does supplier need to provide the BU in the invoice image?
No. So based on PO number, site can be identified. The site is associated, definitely should associate to the BU, right? In our system.
Yes.
That's how system will capture. No supplier will mention what name BU we are maintaining in our application.
I'm thinking in case like there is no PO number provided.
No, it won't
There
work
is
in
no
that way. Only the simple point is there has to be happen with everything in our system, right? So supplier will give the PO number against that the invoice is sending against which PO. The PO number definitely will be having in our side. When you are sending the PO, will have a PO number with the reference to that PO. Supplier will be sending the invoice. When you get that invoice, when you load into this imaging solution, when you try to import into payables, system will look at the PO number. The PO number is belongs to which supplier site. The site is associated with which BU. By identifying this information, it will create invoice. No other criteria.
Okay, so the PO number is mandatory, so
The
it
PO
cannot.
number is mandatory to define the complete invoice creation. Otherwise, it will stuck at header level only. You have to enter everything through manual process. As in, it will become almost manual invoice. At least it will capture few details. Okay. So just these are the points to understand here. Now just we'll jump into the topic. Fine. I'll just place this payables period closed document in the Google Drive today. I just forgot that. And invoice approvals, we'll see after some time. I could not find. I tested in two more instances, but it's not working. Finally, we'll see the output also. Now we'll go through this PO based invoices. For that we have to complete P2P related configuration. We'll test the complete cycle. So here I mentioned the basic setups which are required to execute the P2P process. So we'll go one by one. So before that, let me take that. Yes. Just 1 second, please. So this is our instance which we are using. Fine. So when you talk about P2P based configuration, these are the setups which you have to complete. Inventory location, and these all comes under setups up to here. These are the setups, and the process wise, we'll create the purchase order, we'll approve it, and we'll just match with the invoice and sub inventory creation, item class. We'll just go through all these points. So first we have to create the location for inventory. Create the location for inventory, we can navigate to project or FSM homepage. If BU location and inventory location is same, you can use the BU location for inventory also. Anyway, we'll go and create location, manage locations. So click on create. Here you can give the name as Google US inventory location. So you can specify the zip code. Fine. We create a location. You can just directly click on submit. Submitted. So we create a location for inventory. And the next step is we have to assign business unit business functions for procurement and inventory. So for our business unit, we have to assign the business functions. So if you specify the business functions for procurement and inventory, then only system will allow us to complete the setups for specific BU. Okay. So now we'll go and enable, we'll go and assign business unit business functions for our BU. So basically that task we completed as a part of payables configuration, but at that time the focus was on payables. Now we are working on, we are going to just do the configuration for inventory and purchasing. So we have to make sure that for inventory and say purchasing or procurement, the business functions are assigned. So to perform the task, you can go to the project, manage implementation projects. So task name is assign business unit business function. Assign business unit business function. search for Google US Business Unit, select, so save and close. So for this business unit, we have to assign the business functions called procurement. Yes, already it's assigned. Requisitioning, it's already assigned. Receiving, okay, that also already assigned. Just make sure that these business functions are assigned to our business unit, otherwise you cannot complete the relevant setups. Okay, and enable this also, material management also, material management business function also we have to enable. Material management, receiving, requisitioning, procurement. So now for this BU we can complete those relevant setups. Fine. So now next task is, so in case of EBS, when you create, and before that we'll go with other task, other point. So now we are going to do the configuration related to inventory and to purchasing. So the relevant offerings we have to add to our project. Within our project we could see only financials. Now we have to add the offering called as procurement, and inventory related offerings we have to add. We'll go and add one by one which are required to complete P2P related configuration. Just click on add to add new offering into our project. Just search for procurement, select and say apply. So procurement is added, and you have to add material management also, material management and logistics. So within this material management only you can create the sub inventories and all other definitions. So added. If you want to create item related definitions, you have to add product management. So product management. So these are the different offerings we have to add into our project so that we can complete procurement P2P related configuration. Added, say done. Okay. So procurement to complete core purchasing related setups, and material management to define the sub inventory or inventory organizations and sub inventory organizations. Product management to complete the item related definitions. Okay. So we have to add these three additional offerings. Once we're done with that, we can proceed with the rest of configuration. In EBS, when you create the inventory organization, we assign uh, workday calendar, right? Workday calendar definition is mandatory when you set up inventory information. Here, the same workday calendar we are calling as facilities. First, we have to create the facility shifts and facility workday pattern and facility schedules. Okay, these three tasks, what are these three tasks we have to perform which are equal to workday calendar in EBS. Okay, first we'll go and create the facility shifts. Search for facility shifts. So just click on manage facility shifts. Click on go to task icon. So click on create. Here for everything we can just provide Google as a prefix. Google 8 hours day shift. Okay, start date. start time, you can say 08. Even you have to specify the here you can say AM. Okay, that follows format and all, just you have to provide AM or PM. And duration, say 8 hours. Shift detail type you can set to none. Say save and close. So then we have to create the facility workday pattern. Define workday pattern, click on done. Here next to that we have a manage facility workday pattern, click on create. Just click on create. Say Google workday pattern. So days in length 7 days. Here pattern details you can add start date 1, end date just say 5, so that means 5 days working. Here whatever we defined as a shift that we have to specify, say save and close. Now we have to define the schedule, manage facility schedules. The schedules only we have to select at the time of inventory organization. Just click on go to task icon, say create. Just Google schedule, and here you can add that workday pattern which we created. Sequence 1, the pattern we given as a Google workday pattern, and say save and close. So these setups are equal to workday calendar definition in EBS. So done. So for completing that, we have to create the item master organization. In EBS, in the same window we can create item master as well as actual inventory and operating unit, business group, everything you can create from single window. But here based on the definition they given the separate function. Okay, we'll see that. We'll go and create the item master organization. So here go to project, search for item organization. Okay, task name is manage item organizations. Click on go to task icon to create the item master inventory. Click on create. Name is Google item master inventory. Okay, name is Google item master inventory. Here organization, it is equal to organization code. Okay, here you can say Google item master. So usage system is selecting as item management. If when you create inventory organization, system will take as a here it is taking item management. In case of actual inventory, it will take inventory management. because like item master we use just to manage the items, and when I talk about the physical inventory, that is for inventory management. So select location here. It's a virtual inventory, right? If you want to select location, you can select, or else you can ignore it. Now click on next. So select item master organization name. Same organization is item master organization. Starting revision number, any number you can provide, and say save and close. So we created item master organization. Done. Now we'll go and create the inventory organization, which is a physical inventory. So search for inventory organization. So task name is manage inventory organizations. So click on create. Name is Google US inventory. Here organization, nothing but organization code, inventory code you have to specify. Google US, GUS, Google US. So see, usage is inventory management, because this is a physical inventory that should be mapped with the business unit. So select our business unit. And select location for this physical inventory. Select legal entity, we have only one that you can select. Now click on next. Here we have to specify the parameters. So under general you can select the schedule. We created workday related definition, which we call here as facilities. The facility schedule we created as a Google schedule that you can select here. And item master organization for this actual inventory is Google item master inventory organization. Google item master inventory, select it. So what are the other mandatory fields you can specify? Lot, serial, and packing unit. Here anything is mandatory you can set. Starting serial number is defaulting. Done. So item sourcing details, nothing is mandatory. Now you can click on save. Just save and close. So we created inventory organization. Shifts we created, workday pattern, schedule we created, item master we created, the actual inventory also we created. So now we have to configure procurement business functions, which are equal to purchasing options in EBS. In EBS we set up purchasing options. So equal to that, here we have a procurement business function. Task is configure procurement business function. Just click on go to task icon. So we want to set up for which procurement BU. So Google US business unit. Click on OK. Okay. Here you can set default payment terms. So immediate. Optionally you can set it, but inventory organization you have to select your inventory organization. The code, see here the display they are giving as a code. So inventory organization you can select as Google US inventory. Currency, the transactions you record within this business unit related to procurement will be in the USD currency. Line type you can specify, so that system will default all the time the same line type when you create a purchase order. So other fields you can verify as of now. Just here you can set the matching approval level 2-way or 3-way, 4-way. So done. So nothing is mandatory here. Your document types, the templates for purchase orders, agreements, which document types required. So those the layouts you can attach. These layouts also you can create from same place from where we created payment formats. The next task is configure requisitioning business functions. Okay, here nothing is mandatory, but just will navigate and will complete. The next task is configure requisitioning business functions. Google US business unit. Say okay. So what are the specifications we given in procurement business function? Okay, within this, what are the setup we completed? Same system is defaulting here if you notice. What are the BU name we given there? The same is defaulting. Line type, the same is defaulting. Okay, so this is our system will default. Nothing is mandatory here to set up as of now, but navigate under save and close. Sorry, fine. So common options for payables and procurement. This task already we completed as a part of payables since it's a mandatory to run the payables application. But anyway, just we'll go through once. Task is manage common options for payables and procurement. Click on go to task icon. Select your business unit. Then system will default whatever the setup is completed. Done. So this is already completed. Now we have to set up receiving parameters, which we call as receiving options in EBS. So search for receiving parameters. So manage receiving parameters. Click on go to task icon. We want to set receiving parameter for which inventory organization. Always we set for the actual inventory. The code is GUS, Google US inventory. Organization name is name. Here organization means code. Search Google US inventory. Select. Okay, here you can specify all this mandatory information. So receipt days exceed action, say none, and over receipt action. Just I'm filling all these, just basic information. Receipt routing method is say standard receipt, and receipt number generation. Here you can say automatic or manual. Automatic. So type is numeric. What should be the starting number? 1. In case of RMA, sales returns, okay, return material authorization, what is the routing method you want to use? Those specifications you can give. So nothing is mandatory here. You can say save and close. We have to create the procurement agent. Already we created. We'll go and verify. As a part of payable setups, to create the supplier definition, we created the same user as a procurement agent, right? We'll just go and do verify. Click on go to task icon. Here we can see the Google user is created as a procurement agent for our business unit. Okay, done. Now, when you create the transactions, when you create the requisition or purchase order, system has to derive that basic accounts. In case of EBS, we specify these accounts in the purchasing options, and we have a different options in EBS where we specify the accounts. But here the accounts you have to specify by using PO tab, PO purchasing tab, transaction accounting builder. Tab stands for transaction accounting builder. By using this setup only, you can set up all these accounts: accrual account, charge account, and variance accounts. All these accounts we have to set. For that we have to go and create some rules within the SLA. Okay, so there we create account rules for each account and account definitions where we map those rules. Finally, those we have to associate with the uh, subledger accounting method level, which is already associated with our business unit. After that, we'll set up the approvals and we'll assign the rules. Then we'll provide the data access for user. Okay, I think these now if you start with this, it takes time. So what we'll do is this configuration and process we can complete in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow session we can complete P2P cycle. So then we'll proceed with the other application. Okay. So these setups and the process we'll see in the tomorrow session. It's a simple process. So any questions from anyone, please? We'll start tomorrow sharp 6 o'clock. Today I was about to send meeting link. There was some issue with the go to meeting, so there was some delay in sending meeting link. Okay. Any questions from anyone, please? No questions. We can wind up for today.
Lakshman,
Yeah.
I have only done rollout in ABS before for.
Sorry.
I have only done a rollout in EBS before for FAGL EAR, but then will a financial consultant be asked to set up the procurement part of it?
No. So see, when we have a good number of years of experience, so it's a basic expectation. Normally, we'll be in the position to run the basic process flow. So it's not mandatory. EBS consultant should have experience on configuring this inventory, purchasing, order management. Just to have that knowledge, I'm just trying to cover these setups as a part of this finance related classes. It's not mandatory. At least if we are aware of that, would be really good. When we are working on the project, if you are alone, again you have to test basic process flows where you have to present to the client or you want to test on your own. In that case, you may it just you will be in the position to do it, or else you should have a dependency on SCM consultants.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Fine, we'll connect tomorrow same time. I'll be uploading this video within 2 hours. Okay. Thank you all. Have a good day and good night.
Yep.